Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a blessed day. Today we are making zucchini bread for my son as a surprise. He loves zucchini bread and I just want to have it ready for him as a surprise when he gets home from school. So we're going to follow all recipes. I usually gravitate towards all recipes whenever I am following a recipe. So I have that up here on my phone and I have all the ingredients out and ready so we can whip this up real quick. Let's get started. Okay, so the ingredients are flour, salt, baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon, eggs, vegetable oil, white sugar, vanilla extract, zucchini, and walnuts. Got all that out. We're not doing walnuts. My son does not like that. I would love that though, but he does not. So we preheated the oven to 325 already. And first step is to add the flour, salt, baking powder, baking soda, and cinnamon into a large bowl. So we're going to put it in this bowl. Hopefully it's large enough. I think it will be. Okay. It says sift the flour, but I don't want to. 1, 2, 3. 1 teaspoon of salt. That's good. Teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, that's good enough. It can be clumpy, so I'm going to make sure there's no clumps in my hand before I put it in. One teaspoon of baking powder. This is definitely clumpy. It's hard to get an accurate measurement with it being so clumpy, so I'm going to try to press some of those clumps out and then smooth it out so we have a level measurement here. Okay, that should be good. Since it's so clumpy, I'm definitely going to crush it up in my hand. I could sift it, but I only have one fine mesh strainer, and the zucchini is currently using that. It's draining in the sink. I had zucchini from the garden last year, and I measured out 2 cups, and I froze it in a bag. And so now that it's thawed out, it has to drain. So we're going to do this by hand. It wouldn't taste, oops, I made a mess. It won't taste very good if you get a mouthful of baking soda because the clumps are still in there. It's kind of going everywhere, but well, it'll be fine. Okay, and a tablespoon of cinnamon. So we got the cinnamon. Whenever it comes to cinnamon, I always add a little more, like a heaping. That's pretty level. So just a smidge, smidge more. And then it doesn't call for clove, but whenever I make something with cinnamon, clove gets added to it. I don't always follow a recipe exactly. The recipe does not call for nutmeg, but I use nutmeg whenever I'm using cinnamon and clove. The flavor profiles go together. I'm not going to be too heavy on the nutmeg though. Okay, we got our spices in. So salt, baking powder, baking soda, flour, cinnamon, and that's it. We've got to mix it up. The bowl's almost not big enough, so I'm going to carefully mix this. Try not to make any more of a mess than I already have. I can get very messy in the kitchen, and I am prone to breaking things as well. So hopefully we don't have either of those things happen today. Okay, that should be good enough. Yeah. When you add spices in, you can kind of tell that you've mixed it all up pretty well because you can see the spices throughout and it's looking pretty consistent. So we're going to say that is good enough. Now we have to mix the wet ingredients in a separate bowl, so we're going to do that next. Okay, so we have the stand mixer here, and it says beat eggs, oil, sugar, vanilla together in a separate bowl with an electric mixer, and add the flour mixture after that is well blended. And then we will add the zucchini and mix that in gently, and then we will put it in the baking container. All right, so let me go back up to the measurements. So we have 3 eggs. Okay, let me stop real quick and wash my hands. Eggs, 1 cup of vegetable oil. I don't use vegetable oil. Vegetable oil is not a good choice. Where's my... Oh. Okay. Hold on, let's look and see. So I only want to dirty 1 of these 1 cups. So I'm going to measure out the sugar with this 1 cup before I add oil to it. Otherwise, if I put something wet in here, the oil, then the sugar will stick to it. Okay, so we need 2 1/4 cup of sugar. So scroll back up. Okay, now 1 cup of vegetable oil, which is going to be avocado oil. Actually, I'm gonna fill the rest of that with olive oil. Olive oil's cheaper. Should have thought about that. Okay. 1 cup of that. Vanilla is 3 teaspoons. Let me get a different measure. Actually, no, this one will be fine. These aren't good for liquid measuring, but if I have the tab maxed out. So the liquid can, see how this slides? 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, and 1 teaspoon. The part slides and it can leak the liquid through. But since it's going to be all the way back, it's fine for measuring this time. Because you can't get an accurate measurement if the liquid is seeping underneath, and you're trying to get just a little bit. It just doesn't work out. Hope that made sense. Okay, there's only a little bit left in there. Seems like a lot of vanilla, 3 teaspoons. Oh well, I like vanilla, it'll be good. I had a lot of reviews in the for this recipe, and the recipe's overall stars was 4.8, I believe, so we'll trust it. Okay. I'm making a mess all over my phone, but that's fine. Okay, so the egg, vegetable oil, sugar, vanilla extract, and that's it. If I can get this on, there we go. Okay. And we're just gonna beat that until it's well mixed. All right, that looks well mixed. I'm gonna turn it off, unlock it and lift it up, and add this in. Lock it and let it mix up. It's really thick. Is it supposed to be that thick? Okay. Let me reread the recipe and make sure. All right, yeah. The only liquid in there is the eggs, vegetable oil, and the vanilla. So it is supposed to be that thick. The zucchini will be moist, so let's see. Yeah, it's moist. I let it drain, but I didn't squish it to completely get everything out of it. Because last time I made zucchini bread, I put it in paper towel and I squeezed every last bit of moisture out of it. And the zucchini bread was so dry, it was almost not edible. So, not making that mistake again. So I'm going to guess that this batter is so thick because during the cooking process, the zucchini will release its moisture and everything will come out fluffy and moist. I'm assuming fluffy because there's so many rising agents, the baking soda, the baking powder. Yeah, that's moistening up. Okay, that should be good enough. Ah, made a mess. Sticky. It's hard to get every little bit off, sadly. It's not coming off. Well, that's going to have to be good enough. We've got plenty here. Okay. My son loves zucchini bread, but he loves anything In bread form, if it comes out in the shape of a muffin, he loves it even more. So we are going to put this into muffin tins instead. I'm going to make zucchini bread and slice it up, and he won't eat it nearly as quickly as he'll eat it like this. Okay, we're going to spray this down. The oven has made it to 325, so these will be ready to go in as soon as we get them in here. I probably don't need to do this because these are parchment paper muffin tins. But just in case, I'll put a little bit in there. It doesn't squirt out very straight. Okay, I'm just going to use a 1/4 cup. It might be the amount that we need in each one. Maybe. That is probably too full. So we need less than a 1/4 cup in each. This is so sticky. Let me grab a spoon real quick. I hope this turns out good. Still, okay, take a little bit more out. Maybe just put it over here. Okay, we're going to aim for 3/4 or so full. Okay, got them all full. I think this one's just a little bit too full. Try to get a little bit more out of that. So this batch made quite a bit. I'm going to show you real quick. So it looks like there's probably enough in there to do another 12. So we're going to have 2 dozen muffins from this recipe. And now in the oven it goes. Okay. Oh, I should read the recipe for the time. Okay, so the time on the recipe says 40 to 60 minutes for a loaf, but with those being in muffin tins, it's not going to take nearly as long because it's a bunch of small little things baking instead of one large loaf that needs to cook all the way in the middle. So I'll probably check it at 20 minutes and then again at 30, and we'll be back whenever those are done, and I'll let you know how long it actually took, and we'll give it a taste test as well. All right, first batch is out of the oven. They smell amazing. I wish you were here to smell it. So I want to get these on the cooling rack. Without smushing them, so I can get the next batch in the oven. They're not that hot. Weird, they're not that hot, but I just took them out of the oven. didn't turn the oven off, but I forgot about the second batch. So oven is back on, and we're going to fill these ones up too. Okay, we did not get another dozen. We got 2, 4, 6, 7 more. So that made 12 plus 7, 19. That's plenty. I'll probably end up freezing half of them because my son and I do not need 19 zucchini muffins. They'll probably end up going stale before we get around to eating all of them, but these are perfect. So fill them about 3/4 of the way full. Oven's at 325, and I think about 35 minutes is how long they took in the oven. Let's see if this is hot. Nope, it's not hot. All right, this batch is going to go in the oven, and then we'll do a taste test. Okay, time for a taste test. It came really easily out of the paper because I sprayed it, but on the second batch that I just put in the oven, I forgot to use the spray. I had it out, forgot to use it. Sounds like something I'd do. All right, taste test time. Yeah, that's really good. So that's the recipe from All Recipes, the zucchini bread. It's really sweet. I added the clove and the nutmeg as well, so I think that brought it up a notch, as well as a little more cinnamon than the recipe called for. Everything else was the same. I used avocado oil and olive oil instead of the vegetable oil as well. So use whatever you want, but this turned out great. They're even three-quarters of the way full in the cup. They have a perfect little mound at the top. So perfect size, texture, flavor. I think my son's going to love them. Yeah, so when my son gets home, I'll show you what he thinks about these. And see you next time. Thanks for watching. Also, I can't remember if I told you 35 minutes at 325 in the oven was about the time it took. I kept checking it over and over again, so pretty sure it was 35 minutes. All right, let's see what my son thinks. All right, Evan's here. He's going to give one a try.
Let's take this one.
I made them just for you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
They're good.
Good. Can you guess what it is?
Cornbread?
No.
What is it?
Zucchini bread.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you see the zucchini in there?
No.
Oh,
Or I
okay.
see like a little green piece, but thanks.
Oh, okay. You're welcome. I love you.
Love you.
You want to say bye?
Bye.